Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and as always, thank you for stopping by. So this video is going to kind of go all over the place, as usual with my stuff, but a lot to get through. Basically, this video is fitting two bits to two TRF cars, and then I want to show you what I've done with the collection. It's mainly a collection video as such, of a display collection that I'm working on. So there's now another three new cabinets have gone in place with lighting, new shelves, extra shelves and all that good stuff. And it's really cool, but you'll see as this video goes on. So I'll be as quick as I can, but I have to give some thank yous out first of all. I think because I've made the centre section of this video already as I was kind of doing it, and I'm pretty confident I gave the right thank yous out, but I just want to do it very quickly. And apologies if I've missed anyone, because I've been sat on this video. These kind of videos take up, when it's collection, I've got to gather all the pieces. So it takes a lot of time. But first one I want to give a massive thank you to is Duncan McGregor in the UK. Just such a lovely gentleman. And in this for this particular video, not that he sent me it for this video, but he sent me a very, very cool Tamiya TRF brushless combo TRF Transpeed. I've finally got the Volak MS brushless speedo, TRF speedo, and a Transpeed motor, thanks to Duncan. And he also sent me two vintage Tamiya batteries, so you'll see all that as this video goes. So Duncan, if you're watching, just a massive thank you, my friend. Next up is a weird one. You're going to see a Corelli motor later in this video. I go into it when I'm showing it, but basically I oversend her, and I've lost his details. I don't know, and I've looked. I don't know where I was speaking to him on, if it was a social media platform or email, but I don't know who it is. So it's kind of embarrassing. But he donated a Corelli motor to me, and I just had to pay the shipping. And he wanted me to do that once the motor had arrived. So yeah, I must admit the motor arrived. It was absolutely awesome. I left it for a couple of weeks, because I shouldn't have done. As I said, it's embarrassing. Then I went to sort of look so I could send the postage money to him, and I can't find you. So if you are watching this, my friend, please email me or whatever. Contact me on however you did, and I'll get that cash straight to you. Next up is Richard Lowe, and that's why the TD2's here. Richard's, again, another lovely gentleman. He actually sent me, he just sent this, didn't even know it was coming, he just sent this, which is crazy, all the way from the UK, completely free. It came with a lovely letter. I won't read it all because it's a little bit personal, but he's basically saying just throughout COVID and that my videos and others were really helpful to him during lockdown or whatever. But you'll probably know Richard by now because his channel is RLRC. And it's a fantastic channel, and he's not done this for a shout out. I speak to Richard a lot. Let me just go back to the letter very quickly, because he says about this kit. Wait, let me just find this. Sorry, not great video, I know. As you're a big Tamiya fan, I thought it would be only fitting to get Jamie Booth to sign this box for you. He gladly did so at the 2023 Euromasters. He also added a note inside the box. So, wow. If you don't know who Jamie Booth is, well, if you're into RC and you're in the UK, you 100% know him. I'll put some pictures up of old and new Jamie. Still going strong, still winning races. He races every year at Revival through Iconic RC. Shout out to John Weston. For me, Jamie Booth is an absolute legend. I grew up, as I always say, in a golden era of RC, with all the magazines, guidebooks or whatever, but in all the magazines, Jamie Booth was always in there with his big flowing blonde hair, and I'm sure a lot of you will remember that. So it's cool that this TD2 kit is signed by Jamie Booth, and on the inside he's put a message saying do not sell on eBay, which is a nice little touch. So yeah, Jamie, thank you very much. And obviously sorry, let me get this right. So in the video, you're also going to see a motor that Richard sent me, which is absolutely incredible. But again, I just wanted to take this opportunity to give a a shout out and a thank you. Also, obviously, RLRC, I'll put this picture up, and also in the video this video's about section, I'll put a link to his channel. Just vintage racing mainly, and just a guy with a genuine passion for it. I've got to be careful how I say, because it sounds like I'm hating on others, and I'm really not. But with him, it's hobby first, YouTube second, like myself, and I feel that's kind of a way to do it. I think when YouTube's first, it's a recipe for disaster. Anyway, I shouldn't have probably said that, but I hope you get what I mean. So thank you for that. Next thank you, I'll be quick, I promise. Next thank you is to obviously Keith over at RCicons. I can't even tell you how much he's done, and the stuff he's done that you won't know about. But yeah, just incredible, and a lot of his TRF. To be fair, I'll give him credit for me having this full TRF collection that you're going to see, because of cars he sent me, that fueled me on to get a couple of others, and now I need one more car for this TRF collection, but as you're going to see, it's off the charts. Keith, if you're watching, a massive thank you, my friend. And then a quick shout out to my good friend Dave in the UK. Now, Dave is on Instagram I always get this wrong way around. It's Triggers and Sticks on Instagram. Again, I'll put a picture up. I'll link his Instagram page in this video's description. You're going to see some Tamiya TRF, what do you call them? Banners, posters that he made for me, and did it all for nothing, which is just incredible. And that's one of the main parts of his TRF collection. So again, Dave, if you're watching, just a massive thank you, my friend. And then last but certainly not least, Nick Walker, Mr. Carbon. When I finally shut up, this video starts with a couple of carbon shock towers for a couple of TRF cars, and Nick sent me those for free, which is just incredible. If you're on Facebook, then Nick Walker's name, you 100% know him as Mr. Carbon, but he's also on eBay. But if you've got any carbon needs, carbon needs, is that a thing? I don't know, but if you've got anything, he just does bespoke work and just copies standard stuff. And he can pretty much make whatever you want in carbon, I believe. And again, just a lovely gentleman. So yeah, Nick sent me 2 towers, again, for complete free, which is just awesome, which you're going to see. So again, if I forgot anyone that you see something in the rest of this video, I apologise, but I kind of feel I've covered everyone. Anyway, I will shut up now, and let's let this video begin. Right, let's get into this. So I've dug out the 2 cars that are going to have the front carbon towers on. First one being the TRF 211 XM, and the second car is the 201 XM. Now, I have another 201s. I have a standard and I have the XR version, but they're not going to have carbon front towers on. And the reason being that both the XM cars, because it's got the XM, which is mid-motor mount conversion, that moves the shocks to the back of the rear arms instead of the fronts, like the other 2 versions. So in the conversion kits, you get the carbon rear shock towers. So obviously, I just want them to match front and back. Now, yes, I could get another 2 front carbon towers from Nick and put them on those cars, but then it'd just be carbon on the front and plastic on the back. So that's the reason I'm only doing 2. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Massive shout out to Nick Walker. If you're on the Facebook groups, Tamiya Legends and others, you'll know Nick Walker's name. We call him Mr. Carbon. I think the story behind this, I didn't really follow it, but somebody had asked for Nick if he could do them, and he'd never done them before, this tower, and I believe Malcolm sent him a plastic one to copy so he could develop this. And obviously, as Nick does, he works his magic, and this is the outcome. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you've got 201s and you're after these, just get in contact with Nick Walker. He's an absolute gentleman, and he actually sent me these for free, which is just crazy, because I was working out when I saw he was making them what I needed, and he messaged me out of the blue, says, "How many do you want?" And I said 2, and he said, I'll let you know when they're made, and then he let me know, and he wouldn't take any money for them. which is just absolutely super generous, Nick. So if you are watching, a massive thank you, my friend. So yes, obviously it's got a slightly different configuration, so it's going to bolt to the front end as normal using those 2 bolts, but the plastic tower has this arrangement for your turnbuckle, whereas this it's going to be turned round 90 degrees. So I'll have to make some adjustments, but I think for now I'll just do one at a time because I might need some spaces and things. But anyway, yeah, let's get cracking. Right, so all I've done, obviously the 4 bolts out, disconnected the shocks and the turnbuckles. It's actually standard 201, so as you can see the turnbuckle ends going this way, whereas on the carbon they're going that way, obviously. So it just gets reversed in them, so it might need longer ball ends, I don't know, although these have got spacers on, but I'll have to dig some nuts out for the other side. But yeah, very straightforward, so let's do that next bit. Right, so I've just done one side, just wanted to make sure if I needed spacers or whatever. So I've just used, I'm just looking how I used. So yeah, I've taken on my car, and I don't know if this is standard, it had this blue spacer down here, and it also had this one. So you don't need this one. So I've just got the turnbuckle end with that one blue spacer, and then dug some nuts out, and got a nylon lock nut on there, and the thread length's perfect. So that was that, and then that clips on. So I've gone for the middle hole to the inside, and that seems to be, I won't know to put wheels on, but it looks correct visually. And then I've just used exactly the same shock mount hardware that I had on the car, and space wise, as you can see, absolutely perfect. There's no oil in these shocks because this is a shelf clean, that's why it's not rebounding. But yeah, that's absolutely perfect for clearance. Love it. Right, let me do the other side, and that's done. Literally a 4-minute job, and that just looks absolutely class. And again, unfortunately for me, it is just for looks, but obviously it's carbon, it's there for performance. But yeah, just that's not why I've done it. That's not why I've done it. So obviously you can see the carbon rear now. Now we've got that gorgeous matching front. That is awesome, so cool. Yeah, that just kind of finishes off what I wanted for these 2 cars. Absolutely class. Right, let me go do the same on the 211 XM now. Well, I've got to say, that's absolute class. That's awesome. It's quite funny when I knew he was making these. At first I was like, I don't know if I really need them, just given how I know how the front end of a 201 looks. But now just seeing this XM now with, obviously it's got a carbon battery strap and rear, a carbon tower, and just to see the matching front now, yeah, that is awesome. Right, that's them 2 finished. 211 was a little bit different because it had different hardware on site to dig out. I wanted to copy what I'd done on the XM, the 201 XM. So yeah, it took a little bit longer to dig the hardware out and to match it, but I've done that now. So those 2 are sort of identical. Yeah, very happy with that. Very happy. Again, Nick, if you're watching, very happy. Thank you. Right, let's put them back, and then I'll show you this new TRF collection. Right, we'll start here with just the cabinet lights on. I don't know how it'll look on the big screen, but this is how I see it. So what I've done is I've added one new cabinet to the left hand side of that, and I've taken out the 2 Porsches and put them into that one. So that one on the left is going to be Porsches only. So I have another 5 to build, which is the I've got the Porsche 911 GT2 Racing to build, and then I've got the 4 anniversary kits. The black one, the orange one, the green one. There's another, and the white one. Sorry. So I've got those 5 to build. So that left-hand cabinet will be full of 7 Porsches when that's all done. But there's a lot of work, as you can appreciate in that. And then on the left-hand side on the cabinet, we'll go closer to that later. But massive thank you and shout out to Duncan, who sent me 2 batteries. There's also, in fact, I'll cover that. There's things to show you on there. But let me just move this back to where I am. Sorry. And then the big thing is these two cabinets here, which is the two cabinets which now store my TRF collection, which is just absolutely off the chart, and I can't stop looking at it. I really can't. That's not a bad view, is it? So yeah, this video is just about what I've done with the new stuff. So yeah, I'll turn the big light on and then I'll show you it. Right, let's have a walk about. So as I say, that's a new cabinet. So we've got 4 now in place, which is awesome because that now allows me to get all the Porsches done, and it gives me space for 1, 2, 3 more cars to go in the existing spots that are left over. So that's awesome. It's also allowed me to put in the TAR5 now, looking mighty fine. I've got the Ferrari F201, but obviously that needs finishing, but I've got it in place now. And then I've got the F104 X1, if that's what that F1 chassis is. I don't know. Over here, so haven't really got a place for the guidebooks yet and the other literature, and I've got tons of magazines. In the future I will be doing something with that, but I'm not too sure what that is now. But I can't believe I've got, what, 3, 6, I've got 8 guidebooks. That's just ridiculous. That kind of makes me want to have a look at how many there actually are and see if I can get the full collection. I don't know, that's just a nice to have. So what have we got to show you that's new? Oh, forgive me if there is something new there and you're looking at it. It's just, yeah, it's been such a while. I'm not too sure. I think I've shown everything there. You've seen the boxes. And then on the Tamiya side, I'm pretty sure you've seen everything apart from that Euro stock motor, which is, so yeah, the new one there. And a massive shout out to Richard is this Euro stock motor. Very cool, and it's in excellent condition. So that's a lovely motor. I'll put a link to Richard's YouTube channel, and I suggest you'll go have a look at it because he's knocking out some awesome racing content. I think recently he's just done the revival, and yeah, just a massive thank you if you're watching. Don't think there's anything else new there. Now I do have one other motor to show you, and this is a little embarrassing to say. So I got contacted, this Corelli here, Team Corelli motor, it's beautiful, and apparently it's been tuned by a proper racer. Now this gentleman contacted me and says, look, I want to donate it to you, and you know, just pay the shipping or whatever. And I did all that, and it arrived, and I've totally lost where, if it was an email or on one of the slow social network platforms. So if you are watching, my friend, whoever you are who sent me this, please contact me, and I'll send you that money for the postage. I feel terrible, but I think at least if I put it on video, you might see this. I've looked everywhere for the conversations we had, and I've no idea where it was. So apologies. But yeah, please contact me and let me know. Next up, in the batteries, massive thank you to Duncan. He sent me this 1700 SP and this 1700 SR, and with the boxes, which is just so cool. So yeah, I think that's about as far as that battery collection is going to go, but that's absolutely superb. And then now I've just put the boxes on the bottom, and I think that looks kind of cool. Oh, my knees. Right, so moving on. This I am so happy with. So yeah, this is my 2 cabinets with my TRF collection in. God, I don't know where to start. I think I need to start with the artwork. Now, a massive thank you to Dave. I'll put a picture up of his Instagram page. If you're on the Facebook groups, you'll definitely know Dave, without a doubt. But yeah, check out his Instagram, give him a follow. He does absolutely fantastic work. So I contacted him, asked him if he could do me something like this. So I gave him the measurements, and this is what he came up with, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it just fills that top shelf and makes it perfect for what I'm after. Because obviously I knew the 801, the 1/8 scale Tamiya TRF, would go across the top, so I wanted that background. So I lifted those 2 shelves up slightly on the 3D brackets, so it's a little bit higher than it normally would. And then just to feel it, I've got some aeration shocks. There's some TRF touring car shocks in the back. And then, again, another massive thank you to Duncan, because he sent me these and he didn't have to. This is so much appreciated. So that speedo is obviously it's the Volak MS. You know, that's the brushless speedo that Tamiya did. We believe it's an LRP speedo. I think it's unlimited, forward only. They just do not come up very often, so I'm absolutely over the moon. And he also sent me the Transpeed motor with it, which I think's an 8.5. So yeah, just off the chart. And one day I will get them into a TRF car to run them. That's just so cool. Whew, I'm out of breath. So that's the top shelf, and honestly, I'm absolutely made up with that. And then what I wanted was the 4 TRF touring cars. See if I can sit on the desk and keep this camera a bit more steady for you. So that was the next 4, which I measured out and sort of got them roughly where I want them. So we start with the TRF 414 M2. Donated Keith gave me this one, and it had a load of alloy arms on and alloy bits. And shout out to Anthony at TTP, Tony's Tamiya Parts, who I did a deal with, and he sent me all the original parts and he took the alloy parts for his collection. So gorgeous. Then next to that we have the TRF 415 MSXX 2007 Mark Reinhard edition. Beautiful. I built that one myself. Just gorgeous piece of kit. And then I moved one of the motors out of the collection, which is obviously the Orion Mark Reinhard Worlds edition. So I thought that'd be a nice little touch to have with the car. Beautiful. And then we have the TRF 416. Again, this came from Keith over at RCicons, and it's beautiful. Absolutely love it. And then last one I bought was the TRF 417. Again, just, yeah, made up to have them. And for touring cars, or TRF touring cars, that's it for me. I don't want to go 414, 415, 416 and 417. That's what I wanted. And then we'll do the 2-wheel drive. So obviously we've got my standard, well, I say standard, this is my original 201, but it's got the Team Azari body set on it, which is just off the chart. It's got the Exotec plus 8mm chassis extension on it. Just gorgeous. And then down here we have the TRF 201 XR. It's just stunning. Just waiting to find a painter and we'll get this painted. And then below that, my sort of dream car is the 201 XM, which is a mid-motor one. I should say the XR is running the standard Tamiya body set. The XM is running the Proline Phantom body set. And then down here, obviously you've just seen these two, but that's the 211 XM, which Keith sent me. Unbelievable. Both those cars now have the carbon shock tower on, which is awesome. And then below it, I needed space. I had space for 2 more cars, and it was between the DB cars, which is obviously DBO1 Durga and then the DBO2 Leonis, or it was going to be the MS cars, which I have 2, which is the DTO2 MS and the DTO3 MS. Both these are not TRF and the MS aren't, but they're the closest thing to it. Not so much the MS, but these are based on the DBO1 and the DBO2 are based on the TRF cars. So I thought it'd be a nice touch to have the DB cars in there. Then moving back up, we have the 501, which is all finished, just back waiting for paint, and that one came from Keith as well. Crazy. And then we have a space, and obviously that space is for the TRF 511. Not got one yet. I'm not actually looking for one because I've got other things coming, non-TRF, which has taken up the Tamiya tokens. But hopefully one day we'll get that space filled with a 511, and then I'll have all the 4-wheel drive cars. And then we have the TRF 502X, just absolutely stunning. Shout out to Duncan again, he sent me that body set. It's got a painted under tray on it as well. Probably can't see that. Just gorgeous. And then below that is my brand new built TRF 503 that I built. Just stunning, absolutely stunning. So yes, that's the TRF collection, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it. It's just off the chart. I'll just move back and turn the big light out. I can't actually go and get them all in camera, but yeah, you get the gist of it. Obviously now I've got space again, I can start adding cars to it. Yeah, so cool. That's the rest of it, if you've ever wondered what it looks like. I've had a massive tidy up. Sorry for the shakes, or the shaky camera. Down here we have junk everywhere. I've still got to sort all this stuff. Got to sort this stuff out. And then I've got the Porsche kits, which need to be built. So yes, but yeah, it's just there's a lot of vision goes into what I do. Some people pick up on it, some people don't. Everything's planned, and that's why it takes so long. But eventually, when I'm ready, I get it put into position, because I collected all the bits to do it, and this TRF one is no exception. And I'm absolutely over the moon with it. Yeah, absolutely love it. I'm absolutely made up with what I can see here. I just absolutely love it. It's because I kind of do my collection stroke display in kind of big chunks. I don't just add like a one car and I'll have like an empty cabinet waiting. I kind of like to get the cars finished, then put the cabinet in, and then fill it up with cars instantly. Obviously I couldn't do that with the Porsche one just yet, but the main thing for that one's to get that one in position so I can start building them, which you're going to see that very soon. But yeah, it's a TRF collection for me. Those two cabinets, I just sit here, big lights are out, just staring at it with the cabinet lights on. I absolutely love it. Just a 511 to collect at some point, but I'm in no rush because, as usual, just ridiculous prices. But yeah, one day, hopefully in the near future, but we'll see. I'm in no rush. We'll get hold of a TRF 511, and then I will have every TRF car that I want, which is awesome. Yeah, just made up. Anyway, apologies if this video's run a long time, but there was quite a lot to get through. So, as always, my friends, thanks so much for watching. It is honestly massively appreciated. Leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down, leave a comment, say hello, subscribe if you haven't, turn notifications on if you haven't. That would be fantastic. And as always, my friends, yeah, I know, happy RCing.